Long before hearts adorned cards and lovers exchanged roses, the seeds of Valentine's Day lay hidden in the fertile soil of ancient Rome. The festival of Lupercalia, a raw and visceral celebration, offers a glimpse into a world far removed from the sentimental expressions of affection we associate with the holiday today. Each year on the Ides of February, the Luperci, priests of the god Lupercus, would gather in the Lupercal, a cave believed to be where Romulus and Remus were suckled by a she-wolf. Here, they sacrificed goats and a dog, symbols of fertility and purification. The goatskins were then fashioned into thongs, with which the Luperci would run through the city. These were not random acts of violence. The strike of the goatskin thong was believed to ensure fertility and ease childbirth. Women willingly presented themselves to the Luperci, viewing the ritual as a blessing, a means to secure a healthy pregnancy and a strong lineage. The Lupercalia was deeply rooted in Roman beliefs about purification and the cyclical renewal of life. The sacrifices and rituals were intended to cleanse the city of evil spirits and ensure a bountiful harvest. It was a pragmatic approach to ensuring survival in a world governed by unpredictable forces. To understand Lupercalia, one must consider the socio-cultural context of ancient Rome. This was a society driven by pragmatism, where religious practices were intertwined with civic duty and agricultural prosperity. The gods were not distant deities, but active participants in the lives of mortals, whose favor had to be constantly sought. Lupercalia was but one of many festivals that punctuated the Roman calendar, each dedicated to a specific deity or purpose. These festivals provided opportunities for communal celebration, reinforcing social bonds and solidifying the collective identity of the Roman people. It's tempting to draw a direct line between Lupercalia and Valentine's Day, to see the former as a precursor to the latter. However, the connection is tenuous at best. While both involve elements of fertility and procreation, the similarities largely end there. The rise of Christianity would eventually lead to the decline of pagan festivals like Lupercalia. As the new faith gained dominance, it sought to supplant existing traditions with its own religious observances, often reinterpreting or adapting pagan practices to suit Christian beliefs. The Church condemned the nakedness and perceived licentiousness of Lupercalia, viewing it as a barbaric relic of a bygone era. Efforts were made to replace it with a more Christian-friendly celebration. Despite the Church's efforts, the memory of Lupercalia lingered, intertwined with the fabric of Roman society. Its themes of fertility and purification resonated deeply, proving difficult to erase completely. The challenge for the Church was to find a way to Christianize these deeply ingrained customs, to imbue them with new meaning and purpose. This brings us to the story of a saint, or rather, several saints, who would eventually become associated with the very idea of love, Valentine. Thus, the shadow of Lupercalia fades, replaced by the nascent light of Christian tradition. Yet the echoes of the ancient festival, its focus on fertility and renewal, would continue to resonate, albeit in transformed ways in the centuries to come. The stage is set for the emergence of Saint Valentine, and the slow, subtle shift towards a holiday associated with romance. The transition from pagan ritual to Christian observance wasn't a clean break, but a gradual blending. As the Roman Empire embraced Christianity, many existing customs were subtly reshaped, given new meaning under the banner of the Church. This is perhaps best exemplified in the figure, or rather, figures, of Saint Valentine. The historical record is murky, to say the least. Unlike other saints whose lives are well documented, the story of Saint Valentine is shrouded in legend and contradiction. In truth, there appear to have been several men named Valentine, each with their own claim to sainthood and association with the themes we now connect with February 14th. One account tells of Valentine of Rome, a priest who defied Emperor Claudius II's ban on marriage for young soldiers. Claudius believed that unmarried men made better warriors, unburdened by family ties. Valentine, seeing the injustice, secretly married couples, incurring the emperor's wrath. Imprisoned for his defiance, Valentine, it is said, healed the jailer's blind daughter. Before his execution, he penned her a farewell message, signing it "Your Valentine." This act of kindness and the poignant message cemented his association with love and devotion. Another Saint Valentine was the Bishop of Terni, also martyred in Rome. His story differs, focusing on his efforts to convert pagans to Christianity. He, too, was known for acts of healing and kindness, and his feast day was also observed on February 14th. The proximity of St. Valentine's feast day to the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia cannot be ignored. While the Church officially condemned the pagan rituals, it's not unreasonable to suspect that some elements were absorbed and reinterpreted. The desire for purification, fertility, and good health, inherent in Lupercalia, may have found a new outlet in the veneration of Saint Valentine, a figure associated with healing and protection. Consider the symbolism. Lupercalia involved rituals designed to ensure fertility and ward off evil spirits. The Church, in its effort to Christianize the populace, may have sought to replace these practices with a more appropriate celebration, one centered on a saint known for his compassion and intercession. It is important to note that the early Church viewed love primarily through the lens of divine charity and spiritual devotion. The romantic love we associate with Valentine's Day today was a concept that would evolve significantly in the centuries to come. Relics associated with St. Valentine became objects of veneration, believed to possess healing powers and offer protection. Pilgrims would travel to churches housing these relics, seeking blessings and divine favor, solidifying the saint's presence in the lives of ordinary people. For some, St. Valentine was a patron saint of healing. For others, he was a protector against illness. But as the Middle Ages progressed, a new element began to intertwine with the saint's legacy, the burgeoning concept of courtly love. The veneration of St. Valentine gradually spread beyond the confines of the church and monasteries. Small tokens and images of the saint began to appear in marketplaces, becoming accessible to a wider population. Thus, the figure of St. Valentine emerged from the mists of history, a composite of several individuals and a symbol transformed by the evolving beliefs and practices of the medieval world. While the pagan echoes faded, the association with protection, kindness, and a nascent understanding of love took root, paving the way for the romantic blossoming yet to come. The High Middle Ages, particularly the 12th and 13th centuries, witnessed the rise of a new ideal that would forever alter the landscape of love and relationships: courtly love. Born in the aristocratic courts of southern France, this concept was a sophisticated blend of chivalry, religious devotion, and erotic desire. At its heart, courtly love was an idealized, often unattainable form of love, characterized by elaborate rituals and gestures of devotion. Troubadours, traveling poets, and musicians played a vital role in spreading these ideals through their lyrical ballads and romances, captivating audiences with tales of chivalrous knights and virtuous ladies. Lady Eleanor de Warenne, like many noblewomen of her time, was deeply influenced by the precepts of courtly love. She found herself immersed in a world where love was not merely a matter of practicality or lineage, but a refined art form, governed by intricate rules and expectations. While courtly love flourished in the secular world, the Church held a contrasting view of love, emphasizing spiritual devotion and the sanctity of marriage. Father Bernard, a Benedictine monk, often pondered the implications of these divergent perspectives, observing the influence of courtly love on the moral fabric of society. For Alina, the reality of courtly love meant navigating a complex web of expectations and constraints. She received numerous letters and tokens from suitors, each vying for her attention and favor, but she understood that true love, in the courtly sense, was not easily won or given. The ideals of courtly love found their way into the literary works of the time, shaping the narratives and characters that captivated audiences. Geoffrey Chaucer, a keen observer of human nature, began to weave elements of courtly love into his own writings, exploring the complexities and contradictions of the human heart. Tournaments and jousts became a stage for demonstrating the virtues of courtly love. Knights would dedicate their victories to their chosen ladies, seeking to prove their valor and devotion through acts of chivalry and bravery. Chroniclers like Jean Froissart documented the lives and customs of the aristocracy, capturing the nuances of courtly love and its influence on the social and political landscape. Froissart sought to understand the motivations and values that drove these noble individuals, offering insights into their complex relationships. Alina, grappling with the conflicting ideals of courtly love and religious devotion, sought guidance from Father Bernard. Their discussions explored the complexities of human relationships and the challenges of living a virtuous life within the confines of aristocratic society. Chaucer's tales, filled with witty observations and relatable characters, resonated deeply with his audience. His portrayal of love, often tinged with humor and irony, offered a fresh perspective on the conventions of courtly love. As Alina matured, she began to question the idealized notions of courtly love, seeking a more genuine and fulfilling connection. She understood that true love was not merely a game of ritual and performance, but a deep and abiding affection rooted in mutual respect and understanding. The era of courtly love, though fleeting, left an indelible mark on Western culture. Its ideals of chivalry, devotion, and romance would continue to inspire artists, writers, and lovers for centuries to come, shaping the way we think about love and relationships even today. In the bustling heart of 14th century England, Geoffrey Chaucer, a man of both words and the world, found himself at a crossroads of tradition and innovation. His quill, an instrument of both record and creation, would soon become a key to unlocking the romantic potential of St. Valentine's Day. Chaucer, already a respected figure in courtly circles, often shared his works aloud. His tales, spun with wit and insight, captivated audiences and subtly shaped their understanding of love and relationships. It was within this vibrant social context that his ideas about St. Valentine's Day began to take flight. His poem, The Parliament of Fowls, composed around 1382, marks a pivotal moment in the holiday's romantic evolution. Within its allegorical verses, Chaucer weaves a tale of birds gathering on St. Valentine's Day to choose their mates. Chaucer's choice of birds, rather than humans, allowed him to explore the complexities of love and courtship with a delicate balance of humor and insight. The poem served as a mirror, reflecting the social customs and expectations surrounding romance within the medieval court. The poem resonated deeply with Lady Eleanor de Warenne and her contemporaries, who eagerly embraced the idea of St. Valentine's Day as a time for romantic pursuits. The image of birds choosing their mates fueled the imagination and provided a charming framework for their own interactions. Chaucer's genius lay not only in his poetic skill, but also in his keen observation of the world around him. His experiences as a courtier, diplomat, and civil servant provided him with a unique perspective on the social dynamics of his time. He drew inspiration from the vibrant tapestry of medieval life, weaving together elements of courtly romance, popular folklore, and classical literature. This eclectic blend gave his work a universal appeal that transcended social boundaries. Chaucer was deeply influenced by the works of classical authors, particularly Ovid, whose tales of love and mythology resonated with his own artistic sensibilities. He borrowed from these ancient sources, adapting them to the medieval context and infusing them with his own unique voice. While Chaucer was instrumental in popularizing the association of St. Valentine's Day with love in England, other literary figures on the continent, such as Jean Froissart, were also contributing to this growing trend. Froissart's chronicles, filled with tales of chivalry and romance, further cemented the image of St. Valentine's Day as a time for lovers. His vivid descriptions of courtly rituals and amorous pursuits helped to shape the popular imagination. As copies of Chaucer's Parliament of Fowls and Froissart's chronicles circulated among the aristocracy, the association of St. Valentine's Day with love became increasingly ingrained in the cultural consciousness. The exchange of love tokens and letters on this day became a fashionable custom, solidifying its romantic connotations. The literary seeds planted by Chaucer and nurtured by his contemporaries blossomed into a rich tradition of romantic expression that continues to resonate today. Their influence on St. Valentine's Day is a testament to the power of art to shape our understanding of love and relationships. By the 14th century, outward expressions of affection became increasingly elaborate. No longer were whispered words enough. Tokens of love began to speak volumes. The written word gained prominence as a vehicle for expressing deep emotions. Poets like Geoffrey Chaucer elevated the art of the love letter to new heights. Gifts, both grand and humble, became commonplace. A lock of hair, a carefully chosen flower, or a hand-stitched pouch all served as symbols of devotion. Even within the church, the importance of written communication was understood, although expressions of romantic love remained outside the monastic life. The secrecy surrounding these exchanges added an element of excitement and intrigue to the budding romances. Chaucer's words painted vivid pictures of courtship, shaping the perceptions of love for generations to come. His stories influenced the language and customs of romance. For noblewomen like Eleanor, these letters offered a glimpse into the hearts and minds of their suitors, a way to discern genuine affection from mere flattery. Chroniclers like Jean Froissart documented the evolving customs of love and marriage, providing a window into the romantic ideals of the age. Music, too, played a vital role. Minstrels and troubadours carried messages of love far and wide, their songs weaving tales of longing and devotion. Chaucer sought inspiration in the everyday lives of the people, blending elements of realism and romance in his literary creations. While courtly love flourished in the secular world, the church maintained its focus on spiritual devotion, a counterpoint to the more earthly passions. The exchange of tokens and letters became an integral part of the Valentine's Day tradition, a legacy that would endure for centuries to come. Jean Froissart, ever the diligent chronicler, sought to capture the nuances of medieval life. His chronicles, vast and detailed, offered glimpses into the lives of nobles and commoners alike, recording their loves, losses, and the rituals that governed their existence. Lady Eleanor de Warenne, known for her family's history and her own keen insights, found herself the subject of Froissart's inquiries. He sought first-hand accounts of courtly customs and romantic entanglements. "Tell me, Lady Eleanor," Froissart began, his voice measured, "of the customs surrounding betrothals. How are matches decided, and what role does affection play in these unions?" Eleanor paused, a hint of sadness in her eyes. "Often, marriages are matters of alliance securing lands and titles. Affection, alas, is not always the primary concern. Yet true love does blossom, even in the most unlikely of circumstances." Froissart diligently recorded her observations, recognizing the complex interplay of duty and desire within the noble class. He understood that even in arranged unions, the yearning for love persisted. "I have witnessed instances," Eleanor continued, a faint smile playing on her lips, "where affection grew unexpectedly, transforming a mere agreement into a genuine bond of love." Froissart leaned forward, his interest piqued. "Such transformations are the lifeblood of a good tale, Lady Eleanor. Pray tell me more." And so, Eleanor recounted a story of forbidden love, of secret meetings beneath the pale moonlight, and of stolen glances that spoke volumes. It was a tale that underscored the power of human connection, even in the face of societal constraints. Froissart listened intently, recognizing the universal themes of love and longing woven into Eleanor's narrative. These were the stories that resonated with audiences, transcending social boundaries and capturing the very essence of the human experience. Froissart knew the importance of his role. Chroniclers were the keepers of memory, their accounts shaping the way future generations would perceive the past. He understood the responsibility that came with this power. Even within the quiet confines of monasteries, Froissart's chronicles found readers. Father Bernard, a Benedictine monk, pondered the tales of love and loss, recognizing their value in understanding the human condition, a crucial component of pastoral care. Froissart continued his work, knowing that his chronicles would serve as a window into the past, offering insights into the lives, loves, and customs of a bygone era. His meticulous observations helped solidify the cultural memory of the medieval period. The year is 1348. The Black Death, a pestilence of unimaginable horror, sweeps across Europe. Fear grips the hearts of even the most devout, and the rhythm of life grinds to a halt. Father Bernard, like so many others, seeks solace and answers in prayer, but the silence from above is deafening. In the grand halls of castles, a different kind of dread takes hold. Lady Eleanor de Warenne, who once delighted in the rituals of courtly love, now finds herself isolated, the threat of death a constant companion. The exchange of love tokens has ceased, replaced by a palpable sense of doom. Even Geoffrey Chaucer, the celebrated poet of love, finds his muse silenced. The vibrant streets of London, once teeming with life and stories, are now eerily quiet, haunted by the specter of death. His quill remains dry, unable to capture the sorrow that permeates the air. The graveyards overflow. The relentless march of death blurs the lines between social classes, between the rich and the poor. Death, the great leveler shows no mercy, claiming all indiscriminately. Amidst the despair, acts of selfless love emerge. Father Bernard, along with his fellow monks, risks his own life to care for the sick and dying, offering comfort and solace in their final hours. Their love becomes a beacon of hope in the darkness. Lady Eleanor, shedding the frivolous pursuits of courtly love, dedicates herself to alleviating the suffering of her people. She distributes food and provides shelter, her actions a testament to a deeper, more profound love, a love born of compassion and shared hardship. Art reflects the pervasive fear and preoccupation with mortality. The dance macabre, or dance of death, becomes a popular motif, reminding everyone of the inescapable nature of death, regardless of their earthly status. Slowly, tentatively, Geoffrey Chaucer picks up his quill once more. His writing now explores the themes of loss, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The specter of death has reshaped his perspective, adding depth and poignancy to his words. For some, the immediacy of death intensifies the desire to love and be loved. Relationships become more urgent, more passionate, as lovers seek to savor every moment together, knowing that life is fleeting. Jean Froissart, ever the chronicler of his time, meticulously records the devastation caused by the Black Death. He notes the acts of heroism and selflessness, as well as the despair and the breakdown of social order. His chronicles become a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Even in the face of death, the memory of St. Valentine lingers. Lady Eleanor, seeking solace and hope, visits a small shrine dedicated to the saint, offering a simple bouquet of wildflowers. The association of Valentine's Day with love takes on a new dimension, a love tempered by loss, a love that cherishes every precious moment. The Black Death eventually subsides, leaving behind a world irrevocably changed. The experience has forged a new appreciation for life, for love, and for the bonds that connect humanity. The shadow of the plague has indelibly marked the celebration of love, adding a poignant reminder of life's fragility to the enduring traditions of Valentine's Day. The medieval castle, a formidable structure of stone and might, served as more than just a defensive stronghold. It became a stage for the rituals of courtly love. Within its walls, the pursuit of romance unfolded with a unique blend of chivalry and symbolism. Even within the cloistered walls of monasteries, the symbolism of love found expression. Monks, through illuminated manuscripts and allegorical gardens, explored the divine love that mirrored the earthly affections of courtly life. Tournaments, displays of martial prowess became intertwined with courtship. Knights, vying for the attention of their chosen lady, dedicated their victories to her, showcasing their strength and devotion. The presentation of favors, such as silken scarves or embroidered gloves, symbolized the lady's recognition of the knight's valor and his suit. These tokens were imbued with meaning, cementing the bond between them. The rose garden, a recurring motif in medieval literature, became a powerful symbol of love. Its beauty, fragrance, and thorns mirrored the joys and pains of romantic pursuit. Public vows of love, often exchanged beneath arches decorated with roses and other flowers, marked a formal declaration of affection, witnessed by the community and documented by chroniclers like Jean Froissart. Herbs and flowers, each carrying specific symbolic meanings, were used to convey messages of love. Lavender signified devotion, rosemary remembrance, and pansies thoughts. The carefully curated arrangement of flowers became a language of its own, a secret code understood by lovers, adding layers of meaning to their exchanges. Poetry and song flourished as expressions of love. Ballads and sonnets, filled with elaborate metaphors and courtly language, were performed in courts, solidifying the association of St. Valentine's Day with romantic verse. Valentine's Day feasts, filled with music, dancing, and romantic games, became a customary way to celebrate love. Chroniclers like Froissart meticulously recorded these events, providing a glimpse into the festivities of the time. Games of chance and skill, often centered around love and courtship, added an element of playful anticipation to Valentine's Day celebrations. The symbolic meanings embedded in castle walls, rose gardens, tournaments, and other medieval traditions profoundly shaped the perception of Valentine's Day. These elements, interwoven with pagan and Christian influences, contributed to the holiday's evolving identity as a celebration of romance and affection. Within the hallowed halls of the monastery, the image of St. Valentine began to take shape. It was not a sudden creation, but a slow accumulation of stories and symbols, carefully transcribed and embellished by devoted hands. Tapestries, adorning the walls of noble homes, offered a visual narrative of faith and love. The evolving depictions of St. Valentine subtly reinforced the connection between piety and romantic affection. The ballads of the minstrels, often commissioned by the wealthy, spread the image of St. Valentine as a patron of lovers. Chaucer, ever observant, recognized the power of these performances in shaping public perception. Froissart, the meticulous chronicler, documented the evolving customs surrounding St. Valentine's Day. His chronicles captured the blend of religious observance and secular celebration that characterized the holiday. Icons, revered within the church, provided a tangible representation of St. Valentine. These images, often featuring symbols of love and devotion, reinforced his association with romantic relationships. Personal tokens, such as miniature portraits and embroidered keepsakes, became fashionable expressions of love. These objects, often blessed in the name of St. Valentine, served as constant reminders of affection. Chaucer's literary influence extended beyond courtly circles, shaping the collective understanding of love and romance. His portrayal of St. Valentine's Day as a celebration of avian courtship further solidified its association with love. Froissart's meticulous research delved into the artistic choices made in representations of St. Valentine. He understood that the visual language employed in these depictions played a crucial role in conveying meaning and emotion. Stained glass windows, illuminating the sacred spaces of churches and cathedrals, served as visual sermons. The depiction of St. Valentine in these windows further cemented his place within the Christian narrative. Love letters, carefully crafted and often illuminated with intricate designs, became cherished keepsakes. The inclusion of St. Valentine and Cupid in these letters highlighted the intertwined nature of religious devotion and romantic affection. Chaucer's exploration of avian symbolism contributed to the romantic imagery associated with St. Valentine's Day. The pairing of birds, particularly doves, with lovers became a recurring motif in art and literature. Froissart, in his role as a chronicler, understood the power of art and culture in shaping societal norms. The evolving depictions of St. Valentine served as a reflection of the changing attitudes towards love and romance in the medieval world. Centuries melt away, and the echoes of courtly love resonate even within the bustling commerce of a modern flower shop. Lady Eleanor, plucked from her medieval tapestry, finds herself amidst a riot of color and fragrance, a testament to love's enduring symbol, the flower. The poet Geoffrey Chaucer gazes upon a modern marvel, the mass-produced greeting card. His quill, once poised to craft unique sonnets for noble ladies, now hovers above sentiments churned out by printing presses. The essence remains, though the form has changed. Father Bernard, the steadfast monk, witnesses the modern iteration of St. Valentine's Day. The echoes of Lupercalia, the whispers of courtly love, and the quiet devotion of the early saints blend in this contemporary expression of affection. The circle of love, it seems, continues unbroken. Froissart the chronicler would have reveled in capturing the nuances of a modern Valentine's dinner. He would have documented the subtle glances, the stolen touches, the quiet promises whispered across the table. For him, love in any era was a story worth telling. From the primal rituals of Lupercalia to the solemn pronouncements of modern vows, the need to cleanse, to purify, and to begin anew remains constant. Love, in its many forms, is often the catalyst for such transformations. The spirit of St. Valentine, the protector and healer, lives on in countless acts of compassion. Whether through miraculous intervention or modern medicine, the desire to alleviate suffering and offer comfort remains a timeless virtue. From handcrafted tokens of devotion to fleeting digital messages, the methods of expressing affection have evolved dramatically. Yet, the core impulse, the desire to convey love and admiration, remains remarkably consistent. The legacy of love, like a carefully tended garden, continues to blossom. Geoffrey Chaucer, watching children exchanging Valentine's cards, recognizes the timeless power of simple acts of kindness and affection. His poetry gave voice to a sentiment that now lives on in these little hearts. Froissart, ever the observant chronicler, would delight in capturing the kaleidoscopic spectacle of a modern Valentine's Day in the city. He'd note the couples strolling hand in hand, the elaborate displays of affection, and the undercurrent of anticipation that permeates the air. In the quiet solitude of his garden, Father Bernard reflects on the ever-changing face of love. He knows that while traditions may evolve, the essence of devotion, compassion, and selflessness remains a constant thread through the tapestry of time. Back in her own time, Elinor witnesses a simple act of chivalry, a knight offering his cloak to a lady in need. She realizes that love, in its purest form, transcends the boundaries of time and fashion. It is a universal language spoken by the heart. The story of Valentine's Day is a testament to the enduring human need for connection, affection, and love. From its pagan roots to its Christian adaptations and its blossoming in the age of courtly love, the holiday continues to evolve, adapt, and inspire. And as long as hearts beat with passion and kindness, the spirit of St. Valentine will continue to live on.